Welcome to the Generation Kids Daily Devo podcast, where we move from wonder to worship, looking for God at work in the world around us, ready to ask the tough questions and discover what His Word has to say to us. Today's episode is titled Upside Down, Undercover, and Unseen, and it comes from me, Casey Taylor. When I was really little, I used to do this thing that, looking back, seems kind of strange, but it just felt natural as a child. I would imagine that my stuffed animals had the same types of thoughts and feelings and emotions that I did. If one got turned upside down, I'd have to go move it, because who'd want to spend all day upside down? If one got tucked under a blanket, I'd have to move it so it wasn't resting in a seemingly eternal darkness. I wanted them to feel seen, cared for, and valued by me, their owner.
I see you.
I wasn't going to be indifferent to their pain, their suffering, or their desires. This all came from a desire in my own heart to be seen, to be wanted and cared for, to know that I mattered enough, that when I was in need, when I was upside down or in the dark, that my owner or those responsible for me would right the wrongs of my world. The imaginary wrongs I was righting were a symbol of the wrongs that I wanted to avoid for myself or for anyone else. I wanted to show my stuffed animals and the world around me that I wasn't someone who didn't care about them. I did. What I really wanted, in many ways, was to be cared for in that same way. Because as a kid, a lot about my world made me feel unseen or upside down or hidden. As an adult, this looks different than watching out for stuffed animals. It looks more like me getting upset when other people don't view me in the light that I'd like for them to. When I've been generous, hardworking, caring for others, or suffered so others don't have to, and they don't properly appreciate me, I get upset. It's also looked like me being mad at God sometimes, because what I want God to be like is a God who rewards good behavior and right actions with better circumstances and more beneficial outcomes to me. At the core of my childhood actions and my adult actions, though, is a desire to matter, to be valuable, and for others to affirm that value. Peter, someone who failed so spectacularly in denying Jesus those 3 times, and who did know a thing or two about humiliation, teaches us a lesson on humility that would serve me well. And if you're anything like me, it'll serve you as well.
Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, so that at the proper time He may exalt you, casting all of your anxieties on Him, because He cares for you. 1 Peter 5, verse 6 through 7.
Peter is asking us to let go of our desires and our wants. Not because we can't want nice things or even good things, but because if we humble ourselves and accept the reality that God is in control and at work, even in the hard things, then we can fully embrace the nearness of God for this moment that we're in, and learn to live in God's love through all the moments, good or hard, in the future. Life doesn't give us only good. Because of sin, there is so much bad and hard in life. And when we learn that sometimes life will seem upside down, and Paul would know, go research how he died. Paul is telling us that God's timing is perfect for how God and when God will lift us up from where we currently are. If we're still under the covers or upside down, it's not because God doesn't see us. It's not because He doesn't care. But God might be building a story out of your life, showing how sin didn't win in your life where it seemed like it might. So your challenge for today is to believe and to trust in that. As this verse says, God cares for you. Because if you believe that, you can lay your cares and burdens at His feet. And when the time is right, in the right way, not always in the way that you want, but in the right way as God sees it, He will exalt you. He will turn you right side up, and He'll remove the sheets from your face and show the world the story that had been buried. He'll remind you that He sees and has seen you. This takes humility and trust in the face of internal and external forces that would tell you to right all those wrongs on your own. Humility looks like believing God is who He says He is and trusting Him with your desires and dreams, knowing that He's telling the best story through your life that can be told, and accepting that it may not be the story that you want to tell. And if you can do that, you can let go of your need to be something to the world, because God will show you, just like I showed my stuffed animals, that even if no one else seems to see you and value you, He does. And His love is the only love that will never, ever end.
Now it's time for
Today's Big Question!
Today's big question is, what is your biggest dream in life? The one thing that you want more than anything else. Once you've got it in your mind, think for a minute about what would happen if it never came true. Would you be able to believe that God still sees you, still cares for you? If not, pray that God would help you see Him more clearly. If you can learn to love God in all situations, you can be free to love, free to lose, free to have, and free to be exactly who God wants you to be, which will be the best version of you possible. Thanks for listening to the Generation Kids Daily Devo podcast. If you want to keep in touch with us on all our social media platforms, check out the links in the description. And if you'd like to help support us as we continue to create meaningful content for kids of all generations, please subscribe to our Patreon by visiting us at patreon.com/wearegenerationkids.